Can somebody help me? I don't know what this means. I've never seen this on my truck before. Huh. What? Do I need to stop? I don't know. I went to bed in Florida last night. I woke up in New York, I think. I time traveled. Woo. Hey, welcome back to the channel. Oh. Help if the screen was facing the right way. Welcome back to the channel, the Model Building Corner. I'm Joe. It's been a little bit of a rough week. I've been having issues with my truck at work. The PTO wasn't doing PTO stuff. I mean, it would P, but it wouldn't TO. And you need to have it TO when you want to raise a bed. But anyway, so it's in the shop again. I got home early from work today, took a nap, and I just woke up a little bit ago. But anyway, I'm going to guys kind of get you in here, show you what I haven't been doing all week, because it really wasn't anything. But we'll show you where I'm at on the 56 Ford. And then I'm going to lay down another coat of primer to cover up this. And you'll see that when you get down in here. I also got a couple of things to go over with you. My buddy JT from I Need My Garage Time sent me a nice New Year card. Had some nice words on the back there. So thank you, JT. I appreciate it. I feel bad this season that money was so tight. I didn't do Christmas cards. I didn't do anything. And again, I'm still promising guys shop cards, and I'm trying to get those in. But then we also got Caleb from Big Guy Model Works sent me his shop card. Dude's a nice builder. If you guys want to check out Caleb. I don't even really know how to pronounce his name. Is it Caleb or a Caleb? Let me know. Anyway, pretty cool guy. Sent me a nice sticker. Big Guy Model Works. That's probably too big for the shop, so it'll probably go on my parts boxes. Let's see what else. Both of them will be in the description, by the way. Yep, I already went over. I got Larry's new shop card. Yeah, I told you guys about that. So, alright, let me get you in here. Show you what we got. I'm a little bit out of practice today for some reason. Oh. See, you are out of practice because you're supposed to say, let's run an intro, then we'll get you down in here. Okay. Alright. Hey, so let's run an intro, and I'll get you down in here. Run the intro, Joe. Alright, we're back. I do have my heat on, by the way. You know what it's like trying to wake up in the morning when it's 30-something degrees outside? I know you guys are like, stop whining. It's 5 where I live. Anyway, alright, so here's where we're at. Okay? I think I may have gone a different direction. Don't worry, it's still going to be a patinaed barn find. But I am not going to do the patinaed with the upgrades of the engine and stuff like that. I'm gonna do an as found, so it's still gonna get the original Ford motor. That'll make my purist happy that it's not getting a Chevy engine. I went ahead and I removed the trim just on this front fender and this door. And that's why I did the initial primer, because I wanted to remove it without going too deep into the plastic. So I think I accomplished that goal. And then once I got that all smoothed and blended out, I drilled, by a viewer's suggestion, where the trim would have mounted. I messed up that hole right there. It still shows right now, but I actually filled it in and sanded it. So once I hit this entire car with another coat of primer, that'll be, that's not the first step in the patina. The initial primer is just to seal the plastic. And then we're going to spray some, airbrush some rust colors on there and go from there. So, I do patina my way. There's thousands of different ways you can do it. You've seen the videos. I feel like my process is the lazy way. So there's no right way or wrong way, but there is a lazy way, and that's what you're going to see me do here is a lazy way. And that'll be coming up over the next couple of videos, I think. So, yeah. I don't know what this is. That looks weird, don't it? I'll once I hit it with another coat of primer, I'll see how that dries. Maybe some weirdness in the plastic. But you know what? For this build, it doesn't really matter because a lot of this is going to be surface rust anyway. So, oh, did I show you that I fixed the window? Remember the wing window was sticking out? And I fixed that. I burnt my hands holding it under the hot water and held it in place until it lined in there. Because remember, it was sticking out like that. So, yeah. Alright, so gonna get some primer done. Ooh, Terry sent me a bunch of pictures. Terry Sanders has been a building fool, let me tell you. I gotta get some pictures of his stuff and put it up there. But anyway, so I'm gonna get another coat of primer on this, and while I've got the airbrush going, this stuff's already good primer-wise, so I'm gonna start spraying some color on the other parts. Alright, we got another deviation from the plan, alright? So, you guys seen me... Let me get this in there. I still see a little bit of a little bit of the trim in there. But you know what? Once we cover that up... Because the reason why this trim is not going to be there is because it does have some surface rust through here. So that'll be covered up in the rust anyway, so I'm not worried about that. But normally when I do my patinas, I just use two colors. I normally just use this here. What is this? Flat Earth, and then a darker one. I can't remember what it was called, but it was Tamiya acrylic. And I'm out of the darker one, so I'm going to try something different. I just do a couple of different shades. I'm going to use this acrylic paint I got. Some chocolate bar. Don't eat it. Some red rust and some chestnut. Again, don't eat it. And I'm going to thin these down with the Tamiya lacquer thinner. I'm going to get my three things ready to go. And I'll show you how I do this. Again, I've never done it with the acrylics, with the craft paints. I've done it with the acrylic Tamiya, but I want to do a couple of. I want to get some of these different shades underneath first. Again, like I was saying, the primer initially right now is just a sealer for the plastic. The rust will go on. And then another coat of primer, because the rust happens under the primer, and then the paint colors, and then we'll go from there. I might as well record this in case it works and you guys want to try this, because I don't know if you guys have seen the videos where people make their concoctions of all these different things. I don't know, dehydrated. No, what's it called? Distilled water. Make sure it's distilled. Washer fluid, brake fluid. You know what? I'm just using lacquer thinner. Okay, this paint can be pretty thick, so I'm only going to do, for that much paint, it's going to take a lot more lacquer thinner. That's all there is to it. Let me do one at a time. And let's start with a little bit of thinner. Oh, this sucker's got a hole in it. I tell you what, these cheap ones that I bought just in a pinch from Hobby Lobby, or no, where did I get these? My hobby store. After like 1 or 2 squeezes, they don't work. They crack open. See, there's right there at the seam. So, junk. Let's start by seeing what this looks like, because I don't want to dirty the one I'm using for the lacquer thinner. Alright. So I think that that's still... Nah, actually, that might be okay. Forgot to clean out the primer, so I put some lacquer thinner in there. Rinse out the cup. Spray that lacquer thinner the rest of the way through. Put a little bit more lacquer thinner. Back flush it. Looks good. Run that out. Yeah, that wasn't near enough paint, but let's see. Alright, I've already got issues. Alright, so there is my first base of rust. I definitely didn't mix up enough paint. I went pretty light on it. But you could see, you know, it's got a nice finish. Now, in the video, you saw what I thought was that the paint was too thick, that I thinned it a little bit more. But then I realized what it was is I had tip dry from the primer. So once I cleared that, it sprayed out perfect. So what I'm going to do for the rest of this is I need a good base coat, because I'm going to, everything that's body and stuff like that is going to get this first coat. That way, as I'm laying down my salts and my other layers, if I break through, I'm going to break through to this color, which is the very bottom color I want. I don't want to see primer, and I don't want to see plastic. So everything's going to get a first coat of this darker rust, and then we'll go from there. Alright, so I just got done spraying that base coat of rust. I'm going to clean this airbrush out real good, get clean lacquer thinner running through it. And then I'm going to leave it sitting in there right now while I'm in between colors. Or I'm working with the same color, but you'll see, just relax. Relax. Don't do it. Da, 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 da. Okay, so I've got my base coat of rust on everything. The body. Looking good. I wonder what Tiffany's doing today. I think we're alone now. Not that Tiffany. Tiffany. Dirt Road Cinderella. Anyway, so this first base coat of of rust is down. I'm going to work with the same, oh, look at that. I'm going to work with the same color rust on my first step, or maybe that's my second step. However you want to categorize it. I'm going to use the same color, but I might let this sit just a little bit longer. Smoke break. All right, so here's where the laziness comes in, okay? I'm going to do this in a way that I normally don't do it, but for camera purposes, I'll make a mess. It's okay. I got to clean anyway tomorrow. So I've got my salts here. You notice I don't have any adhesives, no hairspray, nothing like that. Hence, lazy. Let me sit this here, hopefully not. You know what? Let me put it. I don't know where to put this where I won't knock it down. All right, let me put this right here. All right. Now I'm going to take the same color, rust base. So I'm going to start with the tip of this hood. So I'm just going to go get it wet down in there. All right. I'm going to take my salt, sprinkle some salt. Now the paint is going to hold the salt where I want that. Okay. Now if I started with the other color first, the second color, I don't know what I'm trying to explain. Okay. I don't want to overdo it with my wheels, but the wheels are going to get a little bit as well. So again, I'll just come in and I might just hit like right at towards the bottom here. Okay. Sprinkle some salt. Not a lot. Alright. You know, again, I'm doing this over the floor just so that I can show you without moving the camera. But, I knew it. I freaking knew it. I just spilt my paint everywhere. Unbelievable. I was working with too much stuff in one area. Good thing it's acrylic. Good thing I had enough mixed up because I still have enough in that cup. Alright. See, as long as you throw it on there right while it's still wet, it's going to stick. Trust me. Just want to get along this frame rail. See, I don't have to recover the entire car because the color's already there. And the entire car is not going to be that color. So I'm keeping this color where I want it. Basically. Like on the gas tank. Okay. Okay, here's a tricky part. I want this color underneath here. Now, before I paint the next color, I could be more precise and remove whatever I want. So it doesn't matter that it looks like that, basically. All right, get some down here. Okay. Rockers. Got some deep rust in them rockers. Okay. This whole area right here. Shot. And being that you're working with acrylics, just move a little quickly. Okay, that ought to be enough there. Let's do a little bit on the front part of this fender. Okay. All right. Trunk. Trunk's really bad. right here. Remember in my pictures? Alright. This will make sense when we get to the next color. You'll see how it actually is being pretty lazy. Alright, let's run some up here. Alright. Okay. I think those are those body pieces that go there? I gotta check the instructions. Alright, I'm sorry that this first part is getting so long. So, for instance, like on the hood here, do I want the darker rust that high up? If not, go ahead and take some off. And just fine tune it. So now I'm going to come back on the next video. I'm going to come back with the other rust color. Hit this area again. Sprinkle some more salt. So the color is the adhesive for the salt. And once you remove the salt, that color is underneath. Okay? So that's exactly the way I want that. Obviously, I got to clean this out, which I'm not going to do today, but which I guess I am. All right. And same thing with this, okay? Do I want this here? No. Do I want, let's see, what can I use? So, do I want this salt in here? Not really. So, just take it off right now. And you see you still got your original color under there. All right. So when I remove that salt after if I left this salt, this would all be rust, the darker rust. I don't want that on the floor pan right there. All right. Inside here where the muffler is, I want to remove that. I want the mufflers to have all the pitting. And also, as you're building up these colors, if some of the salt gets so embedded in paint that you can't remove it all, that's okay, because that gives you the effect of the pitting that would occur. So just remove some of this salt where you don't want it. That looks okay. I'll leave that. Okay. Just move a little bit of it. I want that like that. Okay. I want this pretty heavy back here. So I'm going to leave this exactly the way it is. All right. This side here, I might pull some of this off. Okay. The rocker. That's fine. This is the important part, okay, where the where the trim was. So I just I want it a little bit heavy up there. So just trace it down, just like that. Okay, remove those pieces from there. We'll get these pieces out from in here. On this side here, I'm going to leave that heavy. I'm going to leave the bottom heavy. But I might pull some of this off. Alright. Clean that out. This, perfect back here. I'll leave it a little heavy there, but not as high up. So I'll remove some of this. Okay. All right, same thing on this door. This is the door that's got the trim removed. All right, I want some deep rust towards the bottom here, so I'm going to remove as I go. All right, and then here, remind me with the other door how the trim actually runs. So it comes down. So I want to remove some of this. And some of this. Alright, I just messed up because there's the hole. So, but that'll work. That'll work. It will work. Okay. Alright, I'm going to leave that like that. So I'll just leave that like that. This is where the guy's arm always laid. So we got that removed. Alright. So that's that for now. Alright, so that acrylic, the craft paint worked out okay. I like it. It. You know what? You don't have to go through. I mean, I'm not putting anybody down. Everybody's got their way of doing stuff. But, I mean, why mess with the concoctions? Craft paint and, to me, a lacquer thinner. It worked fine. It sprayed fine. You saw it. The only issues I had were with me. First, I thought it was too thick still. But I had some tip dry, and for a little bit there, I kept the tip off and sprayed it without the tip, and it sprayed fine. I mean, it's a good, it's nice and flat and no issues. I actually like that color. I wonder what that would look like with a gloss coat on it. So tomorrow, I'm gonna use the next color as my next adhesive. So, we'll see how that goes. So, with that said, till tomorrow, appreciate everybody for watching, and have a great one. Joe is out.